Emma Jones. I'm a social worker in Swansea Social Services in the Valley team. I decided to do social work in Swansea because it was far enough from where I lived to kind of be away from everyone I know and kind of do social work without having a lot of conflict of interest and stuff. So I just picked Swansea based on, I guess, destination. I think now actually working in Swansea, I can see there's definitely loads of benefits in working in Swansea because of the teams and the atmosphere and the support you get. Like I know that there's lots of other areas that people struggle to get that like support that I've had. So I feel really grateful that I ended up in Swansea, thank God. I ended up in Care Support Berlin because I wanted to work with adults originally because I really felt quite innocent to everything that goes on in children and families. And I'd done a lot of training and my placements in adults. I gave it a go. I thought I'll go for children and family, and I'm really glad I did because the reason I wasn't going to is because I love children. I love like how innocent they are and I didn't want to upset myself too much. But in the process I've ended up loving it because I am protecting their innocence and I am helping them through really difficult times. So I guess the thing that was stopping me is my purpose now. I get to help those children through their difficult times, and it's not all doom and gloom like I thought it would be. It really isn't. Like a lot of the time I do a lot of nice work with children. I take them out, I do like a lot of nice direct work, and I get plans for them that works for them, and I use their voice to make sure that the right choice is made for them, and that's something I love doing. So I'm glad it happened that way. Life has a funny way of working out. There's always loads of opportunities for training and development. I think there's a blog that goes out every week that gives you loads of training opportunities that you can get involved in, and also they will always push you to progress. In every supervision they said, what's your plans for your next plan of training, your next plan of progression in your career. Luckily for children and families, there's always a lot of progression available. So I mean, in a short period of time, which is what, like 10 years of your career, you could be realistically at the top of the top, like my manager is. But yeah, she's team manager, she's fairly young herself, but this is what the role she's picked throughout her career, and she's ended up going really far with it. And I think that's really inspirational. Like I said, I'm doing the practice educator course going back to uni, and they've supported me to do that. And that is all part of the role that I don't have to pay any extra for. I'm just learning all of the time. And it also makes up your hours for Social Care Wales training, so I can stay registered. And what's really good about Swansea is that they've recognised the amount of support newly qualified are needing, and that sometimes they wouldn't reach out as much. I'm very vocal, so I'm happy to reach out, but not everyone is that way. So they've recognised that. So they've created a whole new team called the ISH team. So a newly qualified often will go into the ISH team, and it's lower caseloads, it's that extra supervision, it's that like training from a basic level. So all them, what becomes small, quick jobs are really focused on, and they're supported in learning the role. So I think that's really special about specifically Swansea, is that we are recognising the support needs of newly qualified. So if you are newly qualified, don't be afraid to come into this team. Care and support planning, does seem scary, but you will have the most support in Swansea, so definitely give that a go if you're thinking about it. So I wouldn't worry about any training opportunities because you'll definitely have loads here. As a social worker in the team, you deal with child protection cases a bit more, so you go to child protection conferences and they're just a bit more a higher risk, I guess, and they need that extra support and managing safety. And then as a senior social worker now, most of my cases are court work and public law outline cases. I enjoy that work. It's very structured. It just becomes more natural, I guess, because I've grown to deal with those more difficult cases. And the difference with senior then is I now support a lot of the social workers and the support workers in the team. This year now I've started my practice educators course. So I've started having a student on my own, and I'm doing her supervision, and I've really enjoyed actually guiding them on, and as I was being guided previously. So if you want to help people, you don't like doing the same thing every day, you don't like that monotonous work, and you like to have a purpose, I would definitely suggest or consider social work, because I wake up every day, I love it, like I'm excited to come back to work on a Monday morning. And I guess like I'm happy to do it because it's never the same and it's always different. And I like that practical side as well as the thoughtful side and the thinking and the writing side. So I guess it just is a bit of a mix of a bag, and I never like being bored, so this is the perfect role for me. So if you're like that, definitely consider social work. If you want to do something with people but while supporting them, I promise you it isn't all like rain. It's a lot of shine. Like I really get on with lots of the parents I work with, and I really enjoy being that person that they can finally confide in, and I can support them in getting a better life, I guess, for themselves and their children.